than it did when they created this original structure. And what is that, 30 years ago or more that it's been active? And this is all based on the last census. And obviously, what is it, about 23,000 people now? And it's going to go up to 30,000, 29,000. It's going to continue to grow. So the 30,000 in 10 years is going to be 35 or 40,000. So the numbers are increasing, and numerically it's just look at all the wonderful transportation stuff and the new jobs and things that they're working really hard to get here in Joliet. And that's going to impact the population also. But in this proposal, in this map, this is why I wanted one. In this map, this is what really bugs me. The big one is the pink one, and the big one is the blue one, and the big one is this upper yellow one, all of them. And it's very interesting to note that those three districts all only have one city councilman living in there. The other two have all the rest of them living right in the same area. And that has something to do with what's going on. With the 8 districts and the number going down, the number of people that they have to deal with is reasonable. And it's going to benefit the citizens by better access to council members. We've already talked about that. Your area, now smaller, will have one more direct observation from your council person. And it drives, and they have to be in there, they have to drive through there, they have to live through there. They know you. They have a much better chance of getting to know who you are if they have 18,000 than they do if they have 30 and more. So that's real evident. We already talked about that. But I think there's another dimension to that, and that is the growth and the kinds of decisions as to what happens, where the streets are, how things go. And that has to do with big areas. And if you have someone who's looking at your area and that's where they're responsible, and they know the next time around you're going to vote for them, and it's a smaller group, then you have a better leverage of getting in there someone who is going to be productive and is going to do Amen. What you need to do. And that doesn't matter where in the city you live. That's where you're going to get assistance and power and help for your area, because that's going to be their responsibility. Now, each council member then will have fewer constituents, a smaller area to be concerned with, equality on vote, because it's not equal now. With all the people living in that once relatively sensitive, smaller area, that's where the power is. If you split the power, then everybody has equal leverage. If you keep all the power together, then you vote as a block and you do what you want. Now, this is all just mathematical. This has got nothing to do with personality and who's doing what. It has to do with mathematics, sort of. So there's an equality of vote. There's an equality of voice. So one person says isn't eliminated because it's that person. Everybody's got an equal backing, an equal support group behind them, and therefore there's an equality of voice. And the mayor then has the necessity of being the one who overlooks the good of all the city. They all have to look at the good of all the city. But what is done now by the mayor and the 3 council people is done specifically by the mayor, and that becomes the mayor's job. If your council member is not providing a service for your area, you can elect someone else the next time. But if you look at the map, and you can have my map after this. If you look at the map, this is so divided. I live in 5. So I live at Briggs.
You can move anywhere.
And I was in 4 before. and I did lived in 3, so 2 red, yeah, 3. Anyway, if you look at this, how can anybody keep track of all of the needs of all of that without a whole bunch of help? How many of us write or call and say, here's my problem, here's my problem? We sort of brush it off because the city hasn't been really responsive unless you know who to ask. This, I think, will be an opportunity for anyone living anywhere to get a better chance to talk about their needs and what's going on. And if they divide it in 8, then they've certainly got to move some of these districts that are so far flung. And it's not just those people like me who live in 5, but it's this district up here, which has a lot of professional people and some of the big expensive homes.
What neighborhood is that?
Pardon?
What neighborhood is that? Number 1.
Okay.
The Plainfield Township area west of 55.
Yeah, way up here. Yeah. And there's only one person in that area, there's one person in this area, and there's one person in 4. So 4, 5, and 1 have only one person. And currently, there are 6 council people in 2 and 3. And 1 in those other 3 areas. Yes?
What's the population in District 5?
They're all the same. All the populations are the same. That's how they develop the map. They have to be. So they've got 23,000? No, 29,000.
So
Going up
even
to
though it's
29,000.
spread out, you still have 23,000.
29,000.
29,000
29,000 here, 29,000 here, 29,000 here, and 29,000 here. If you cut it down, yes, there'll be probably a third one somewhere in through here, but these that are so spread out will automatically get some smaller space. Wait.
Just to kind of clarify that, you're not just going to cut them in half.
No, I know.
You're going to, the map won't look anything like
No.
that. It won't even resemble that, because you're going to take pieces and put them all together just like a puzzle. There's actually a software program that does that. So it will not look at all like that.
Because they deal with, like I live in Ingles Park, okay? And they deal with that as a group, and this place as a group, and so on. And they put them together so there's approximately 18,000 people there, and 18,000 people there, and there, and there, and there. Yes?
You brought up the mayor. I just wanted to kind of clarify. The mayor lives also in one of those 2 districts,